Welcome back to Yin and Yang Healing with Kirstin and Dirk. Today we are talking about how we're switching gears a little bit. Switching gears, but not switching gears.
Yeah, precisely.
So basically, I think we both kind of just realized that this show is about more than just the niche things that we help people with, because this type of healing is so like all encompassing, and there's just so many different things that can play into it.
Yeah.
But like you were talking about last week, how you're helping people with like chronic pain as well.
Yeah.
I've been kind of helping people with kind of getting into this is like a new offer. I'm coming out with a meditative state to kind of help with things, when these meds and shit don't work, or they, a lot of people just don't even want to go there.
Yeah, a lot of people are resisting that now. Like a lot of new people will come to my health food store and say like, I'm not down with like the pharmaceutical stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like almost a last resort for people these days, I find. It's like, so, I mean, I'll just go back to sleep, for example. I was in this group last night, actually, reading this one lady. She literally had tried like everything you could think of, like all these different supplements, all these different herbs, all these different like pillows and mattresses, and literally anything you could I was honestly astounded. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even think of that one. Basically she's saying like, I don't want to go to meds because in a lot of cases it'll just make it worse, because now you're dealing with a different side effect. And so
I will say like that's even true of like supplements, right? Because I see people come in and they're spending $500-$600 a month, and that's on a sale day. So imagine if we didn't have that sale day, right? And they're spending an enormous amount of money on their supplements every single month, and it's like it's because you're chasing the symptom and not the root cause. And like through the emotional healing work that I do, and through like in August, I've been working in vitamin retail for 9 years. So in all that experience, my whole mindset has shifted, and I actually lead people away from supplements more now than I do like bring them to it. And like supplements are great and they're such a great tool. But when you don't get to the root of the problem, you're living on those vitamins and supplements like forever, indefinitely. And that's not how it should be. There should be a lot more ease in your life. You shouldn't have to, worry like if I don't take this one particular product, my knee pain is going to be back, or my gut health is going to be off kilter, or I have to take this probiotic. Like it's a very like stressful thing to have to constantly be relying on that stuff just to like feel somewhat normal.
Yeah, for sure. Just recently I've been doing this kind of meditative journaling technique, and just recently it kind of came to me, something that I was kind of denying, but I was finally able to admit it and accept it, that alcohol, unfortunately, it feels great to go and have a drink with someone and just feel relaxed, but the downside is, and it's funny because I have for so long just been saying, well, I don't know why I'm irritated. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. It's irrational. And I just realized in that moment, I'm like, it's the alcohol. It's affecting my gut. It's affecting my nervous system. And I don't want to show up that way. It's like my partner doesn't deserve that from me. And I deserve better too. My body
And
deserves
what if it's
better.
like the spirit of irritation, of irritability, right? Because alcohol is spirits. And like I never used to, but I kind of believe like there's something to that. Like the alcohol opens you up to like spirits. And it's interesting because when people drink, not everyone is irritable. Some people are like happy and like fun and bubbly. Some people are like sad and crying. Some people are like rage, angry, like scary, right? Some people are just
Yeah.
like more irritable. Like people are like have different personalities when they're drinking the spirits, and it's interesting.
That's actually how I originally got my nickname Dur, because there was like a complete different version of me that would come out when I would be drinking. And so my friends at the time would just shorten my Amanda funny Australian name to Dur, like, oh, Dur's out now.
Oh,
And it that played out for a while until I became sober and did a lot of healing. And now it's just like an endearing nickname. And it just a little kind of suits me, my personality a little bit better than Amanda. So anyway, I'm not like that drinker partier anymore, but yeah, like it's kind of like what you're saying, a different kind of side of you comes out, but sometimes that side seems great and nice and fun, which I feel like that is me, like in the moment when you're enjoying that with the person, having the drink, whatever. It's the after that I feel like I become this like quick to irritate, quick to angry, that kind of person that I do not like. And I don't want to be that person. And there is like, I feel like there's this period of kind of mourning a little bit because it's a very social activity. We're very social creatures. So it's kind of like, well, fuck, I can't go and have a drink anymore. What am I going to do? It's not as enjoyable when people are drinking and you're sober and that kind of shit. But I think that's just a mindset to shift and break, because
yeah.
you can feel fucking awesome. You just really have to embrace who you are in that moment.
Yeah. So you going telling yourself when you go, I'm a fun person.
Yeah. There's like really cool drinks too, actually called adaptogens that you can get. And they basically use like functional mushrooms to kind of
Yeah.
give you a slight, it's very subtle, but like kind of a slight similar feeling to that, where you have a bit of an upper but
Yeah.
it's all natural. It's just mushrooms and fizziness. Yeah.
Well,
So what have you been up to? Let's talk about it.
yeah. Um, ugh, I've been just digesting a lot of, I don't know if we talked about this before, but I've been digesting a lot of like the emotions that come with like the upgrades that I'm doing in my business. It's been a lot. It really has, like not in a bad way. There's been a lot to like process and digest, and like things are coming up and I'm feeling like tired. It's like emotionally like fatigued because I feel like I'm kind of under this tidal wave right now because I'm still working at my job. I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to be more in my feminine energy and not like I don't want to like be hustling all the time, but I feel like I have to also a little bit to get out of like from under that tidal wave. So it's just like a lot of pieces coming up, a lot of like worthiness pieces, a lot of like who am I to like offer, these higher level programs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just been a lot of like upgrading and stretching and growing. And it's good, but it's been a lot. I have a lot of exciting things on the horizon. So I had like the thoughts and the plans and the ideas of creating these things. And then it was like once I started to like execute the things that needed to be done for it, I felt like hit like a truck. Like I was like, whoa, I feel so exhausted all the time.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot.
And what do you think that is that's like, okay, if we go to like exploring beyond the physical component of this, like what do you think
Yeah.
it is that's bringing that on? Like, is it a resistance or is it something out of alignment? Like, what do you think's going on there?
Mm, maybe a bit of like a resistance in a way, or like a disbelief kind of, because I just when I look back at my life and like where I've been and like going to school, dropping out of school to like follow my dreams, and like in doing that, like I was just working at a health food store and I was so happy with that. I was so happy. I fucking love working at health food stores. I love helping people in that capacity. I love putting products away. I love making the store look pretty. Like I love that. And that's been my identity for so long. That's been who I am. And to shift away from that is scary because like that's
Mm-hmm.
part of like who I am. So now I'm like it's like this resistance of like, oh, I don't want to like let go of like this old version of me because I really like that. And it's really comfortable and you're really good at it and you know it and everything and all the other stuff is like good for me, but it's like a whole new level and it's a whole different identity that's like a lot closer to my what I imagined like 3 or 4 years ago my higher self to be. And I'm even
Mhm.
getting like an emotional about it because it's like I would imagine her and like what she's doing and, da, 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 and I'm like, it's right there. I'm right at the precipice of like becoming her. And it's just a lot. It's a lot to digest and grow into.
I feel like I can relate in the sense that I have for so long identified as this like techie person.
Yeah.
Um, because it's the same thing. It's like I love it, I'm good at it, it comes easy to me.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I also feel this shift, this like desire, this need to help people in a different capacity, which is healing. And over the last couple of years in learning all these healing modalities, doing so much healing myself, I realized that I'm a pretty fucking badass healer. And
Yeah.
that, first of all, just that piece alone was so hard to like, okay, just admit that you're fucking good.
Right. Yeah.
It's like
Took me
it's
a
like
while too.
I don't want to like I don't want to come across as, and I feel like part of that was I don't want to come across as like, oh, you're cocky or whatever kind of thing. It's just I've had a lot of healings from other practitioners too, and I'm just like, well, fuck, like I just you kind of see like you see the results that like your clients are getting. And then anyway,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that whole identity shift, I feel like completely relates to the type of healing that we do, because it's like people have so ingrained in them these certain things that have been caused by trauma or the way of life or generational patterns or whatever it is, and it's become their personality, their identity. And so to let go of that and to heal and to move past that and evolve is, yeah, it's just like what we're talking about. It's so hard sometimes. There's so much resistance. And so actually, I guess all this kind of brings me to the point of like, I'm just curious, like what we could uncover for you to help break some of that down and make it a little more easeful. Because clearly there's a piece within you somewhere that doesn't want to let go, to
Yeah.
allow that shift.
Yeah. It's big. Yeah. It's big, scary changes. As like my higher self is calling me to like leave the store. Well, like not leave like fully, but leave like many hours behind there so that I'm only working like 1 or 2 days a week kind of thing. For September. I was calling for that. And I'm
Wow.
like, that's so soon and that's so scary. But I've been working on all these things like behind the scenes, like to get there. And they're all here and they're all like bubbling up and like everything's coming and like happening and flowing to me. And yeah, there's
Um, okay, for
yeah.
for if anyone doesn't know like what it means to tap into your higher self, can you kind of explain how that manifests itself for you? Like how do you know it's your higher self?
Um, oh, that's a really good question.
Like for me, it's a knowing. And sometimes depending what the thing is or the topic is, it
Yeah.
and what my judgments are on it, what my conditionings are on it, it can be so like blip, so fast, so subtle that you barely even realize it. But there's other times where I almost seem like a fucking crazy person because I just am telling people, I just know that this is what we need to do or this is not what we need to do. And I
Yeah.
don't know how to tell you why. I don't know how to tell you, explain it to you. I just know.
Yeah.
To me, that's my inner self, my higher self, my inner voice, whatever you want to call it, my connection with source.
Yeah.
It's a knowing, or some people call it like clair cognizant.
Yeah. I'm claircognizant. Yeah. I've always had like annoying. It's so weird. I don't know why I know things. I just know them. And like most people can't understand it. And I'm like, it's okay. I just know. I know
I
that's
feel
good
like,
or I know that's bad. Like I just know.
yeah, I feel like sometimes it's the hardest clair because you don't know how to explain it sometimes. You just know, right?
Yeah, I just like go with it. And when people like look at me funny, I'm like, you'll see. You'll understand at some point. It's fine. Um, yeah, for me, it's like because I've always had like that clear cognizant. That's always like been pretty strong for me. Like even since I was a kid, like I just knew things, I just understood things like more than like the peers around me, like at each phase of life. And for me, my higher self is like it's interesting because this like last year a little bit and this year I would like go for walks, like long walks, like on my own. And I could literally feel like my higher self like calling to me, like and asking me to be in alignment in certain ways and asking me to like release like old versions
So
of
how does that
myself.
come to you? Like, how does that feel? How does it, is it like a voice in your head? Is it a feeling? Like,
It's still kind of like a knowing, I guess. It's like a knowing like in my heart. Like I don't know. It is so hard to explain it because it's not a knowing here,
mm,
right? It's not like a thought like in my brain. It's more of like a sensation of knowing like in my chest.
the
So it's like,
subconscious.
yeah, like I can like feel it there. And I don't know, I can just like feel like the energy of like my higher self kind of and who she is saying like these are the things that like need to be done to like so that you can like meet me. So
Sweet.
yeah, it's been interesting. Because if I
I
look
feel,
back at like 4 or 5 years ago, like I was so far away from her. Like I just was so far away from my higher self. I just kept doing all these like things that were not in alignment. And now it's like the more that I take these little steps in alignment, in alignment, in alignment, I get like closer and closer and closer. And I feel like more secure of like that identity of herself as me now. Yeah.
yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit of like the um the process of following and being in alignment and stuff like that. I feel like this is something that we're trained out of as children
Mm-hmm.
because we're just told you're fine, no, that's not right, that's wrong. Nothing's right or wrong, it's just for each person there's different things that are true for them, but it's, and sometimes it makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
example, how I have never wanted to live in the city that I'm in now. But I'm here, and it's just because I obviously met my partner, but then I was also like, okay, just there's just something pulling you there. Just go
Yeah.
and
It's
do it.
kind of like going against your logic.
Oh yeah, it reminds me of the story too where I had to choose between two routes from the Okanagan to Edmonton on a really snowy
Yeah.
day,
That's
and I
right.
chose the one with the worst weather and the longer path because my knowing was just like, you don't take the other way, and that way ended up having like a huge accident on it. So
Yeah. So
it
like
doesn't make any fucking sense.
not being in alignment would be like you forcing the other way and saying like, no, I want to go this way. That would not be in alignment.
And I think too, so for anyone listening who's kind of thinking that they don't really know how to follow this, well, if you ever catch yourself thinking or saying, well, I have to do this, or I should do this, or I gotta do this, that to me is a sign that you're not following what's in alignment with you. And sometimes it might
Yeah.
seem fucked up. So like I feel like one of the things that the best example that I have that's probably going to irk a lot of people too is women who are mothers and they say that they have to do a certain thing because of their kids, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to do
Yeah.
anything. You can choose. And yeah, it might look fucked up to someone else or the rest of the world, whatever you're choosing. But that, if you choose that, that's your alignment path.
Yeah. It's like you avoid what you really want to do because of external things,
Judgments.
criticism.
Yeah.
You're, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it feels good to like be in a place where like it takes time, but it definitely feels good when you get to that place where you start trusting that more. And then you're
Mhm.
just each step that you take, you're just more and more and more in alignment. Like
And it takes
it is a
practice too, I feel.
yeah, it's a journey for sure. And it takes practice. Like you're not just gonna be like, okay, like I'm in alignment now. Like, no, no. I've been spending like the last like 10 years of my life trying to be in freaking alignment.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of like effort and it takes a lot of missteps and back steps and side steps, and that's okay. That's
Well,
totally
I think
okay.
that's part of learning it is practicing, okay, I'm gonna consciously try to follow that, but then you'll start realizing and becoming aware, oh, I actually didn't want to do this thing, but I did it anyway because the other ways seemed illogical or unreasonable. But fuck, now I realize if I would have done that, then things would have played out completely different. But I
Yeah.
was judging it.
Yeah.
So this could be like I wish I could think of an example that just seems wild. Okay, the what here's an example. It's actually kind of funny because it's like some shitty fucking thing that I saw on TikTok. It was like I think it was like a Judge Judy thing, little clip where it was the lady had a child and she just decided she didn't want to it's fucked up because if we like as a society we're going to say it's fucked up. But like her alignment was she's like I don't want to take care of this kid anymore. That was her truth. And so she dropped the kid off at her sister's, so it's the kid's aunt, and just never came to pick her up. And so the kid grew up with her aunt. And basically they were just in court because the aunt's like, well, I'm fine. Like, I'll take care of her. I love her, but I want you to pay child support. So, that kind of thing, I know a lot of people are going to judge that because they're like, well, you shouldn't abandon your child and blah, blah, blah. But if you really dial it back, that's a complete fucking judgment based on what our society says is right or wrong. Who says it's right or wrong? If you look at like ancient cultures, the whole village would take care of children, not just one parent or one family. So,
Yeah.
it is a complete judgment that, maybe that isn't that lady's path. And I don't know what she was up to. Like, she seemed pretty fucking happy though, not having a kid. So, so what's the choice? The choice is she stays being a mother to that child and then maybe is so unhappy that that child has a really fucking shitty childhood, or she chooses to go against what societal norms are and let her sister, who is more than happy to take care of and raise the child, and so that child has a much better upbringing. Which one's better, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good example, but I feel like a lot of people are going to judge that choice that that lady made. But then if
Yeah.
you look at the outcome, what's better for the child? So it's kind of like you have to almost just let go and accept that if you are choosing what's in alignment for you, not only are you going to create a better life for yourself, but you'll probably also create a better life for the other people in your world.
Probably. Yeah.
It's like choosing to go to a family dinner, for example. Maybe for some reason you just really are like, I don't want to fucking go to this. And so if you were to like force yourself to go to it and you're just going to be in a shitty fucking mood and the rest of the people are just going to be like, why are you so shitty? Versus you just stay home and be like, I'm just going to have a me day. So then they get to have a great time because nobody's shitty there. And
Well, you hope.
then I mean, just hypothetically speaking, everyone else is in a great fucking mood. And then you get to spend some time nurturing yourself, and maybe your partner comes back, or maybe you meet up with your family another time and everyone's all happy and you fucking enjoy it. But there's this judgment of, oh, I have to go because it's my family and we're blood and I said I would go and I said I would show up. And
Yeah, or the opposite is also true if you like really just don't want to go, but the alignment is actually to go.
True. Yeah. Actually, Ocean shared a story about that once as well, where she was like struggling to go and hang out with her partner's family, and then there was a one time where she was like, okay, truth, will it create more for me to go? She's just like so like mentally resisting it, but then she ended up going and it was like amazing and she bonded with the family and yada yada. So yeah,
Yeah.
it does go both ways.
Yeah. It's like you have to trust like that little voice. It is like a soft whisper and sometimes a little blip. But yeah.
And I feel like that blip turns into a bigger signal the more you practice it.
Oh yeah, my signals now are just like so enormous. It's not even a little blip. It's crazy. It's crazy. Because I've been trying to like force um things at the store, like on the one-on-one, just like random, you book or you don't book. I've been trying to like force that to like make it work because everyone else said I should continue to do that and I shouldn't stop and I should keep like working at it. And I'm like, for how long? Like, gosh, like how long do I have to keep like hustling and convincing people? I'm so tired of that. Like, I just don't want to do it anymore. But I kept, okay, well, I'll try it like this way. Okay, well, I'll change my price. Okay, well, I'll increase my price. I'll decrease my price. I'll do like I'll
So
try
much
all these like different
resistance.
things. It's like it's 90 minutes. No, now it's 60 minutes. No, the initial is 2 hours. Like I literally tried to make it work. And the signs was all over the place. And I'm like, I just can't do it anymore because the signs are so huge and have been telling me for like over a year, over a
Mhm.
year. But like it's not for you. It's time to move on, you know?
Yeah, it was for you for a period of time, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
And
like yeah, it was very much in alignment around this time last year. It was very much in alignment. I was seeing lots of people. And I think that was really great. And I think that like, you know, like God or creator or whatever, I think like put that in my realm so that I could get really busy. I could get a lot of experience and get this like confidence so that I can do like this program that I'm
Mhm.
offering for pain. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting to be in alignment. And I'm finally like in alignment, but it's like there's I wouldn't even call them like roadblocks or hurdles, but there's just um like new levels of myself that have to be discovered. And that's just it's a lot. It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I guess this brings me back around to okay, now that we've spoken about this, because when you are following your path, there's ease, there's a lot more ease. So
Yeah.
I just want to pick into you more of like what is off that is causing so much of the tiredness?
Mm.
Like what makes you
It's
the
just my
most tired
schedule
right now?
because my schedule's too full. And so then when I want to go and do the work, then I just want to rest because my schedule is too full. My social calendar, like I don't know. I was listening to this podcast of this girl, and she was like, I used to live here and I had a lot of friends there. And it's like sad that I moved, but it's kind of a good thing that I moved because I can really focus on work and grow my business because my social calendar is not that full.
Mm,
Okay. And I was like, yeah, girl, like I feel that. And it's just like part of it is it's a mental like fuck for me because I don't want to like put a pause on my friendships and my family. Like I don't want to do that. But I feel like I have to do that. But I feel bad for doing it, not just for them, but for me because I like it. It fills my cup up and I love it. But I feel like I have to put a pause on all of that for at least like 2 to 3 months to get this program up and running because I'm exhausted because I'm doing sessions. I'm working at the store. I trade sessions for friends. I'm, trying to keep up on like eating healthy, working out, doing all my errands, doing all my chores, um, trying to like build this like program and everything and it's like I'm exhausted. It's just too much. Like I look at my calendar and I'll have like a boop of time. And it's like, I don't want to fucking work right now. I want to chill. I'm tired.
Mhm.
And I work at a store where it's like I'm around people a lot. Like there's lots
Yeah.
of customers. I work with like multiple staff in the store. Like it's not just me working, right? There's usually multiple staff working in the store. It's just a lot. It's a lot of talking. It's a lot of engaging. It's a lot of socializing. And then I have a very social calendar. Friends are like, let's hang out. And I'm like book them in. And then it's like so-and-so's birthday. And it's like my niece's birthday this weekend. And it's just like the schedule just gets like fuller and fuller and fuller. And I'm like, it's like, when am I gonna do it?
Hey, let's
And I
break all these things down. Let's break all these things down. Okay. First question. Truth.
Yeah.
Would it create more to release some shifts at work?
No, not currently.
Okay.
Because
Truth.
I need the income. So it's like I can't release it yet.
Okay,
That piece can't.
if you had no judgments about the income, how you're going to make money, truth, if you were not judging it, would it create more to release your job at the store or even some shifts? Okay. There's one. There's one. Okay, truth, if you weren't judging it, if nobody else's opinions mattered, would it create more for you to start saying no to family and friends?
No.
Okay.
That was like my
That's
whole
interesting
yeah.
because you had just said that that's the thing you need to do, but that's actually not what your truth is. Your truth is the store.
Right. But I feel like in a weird space because like the part of the reason I want to offer this program is because like to be like really truthful, like this is a truth podcast episode,
Mhm.
right? Like when I'm in the store and people cancel and they cancel or they reschedule, that affects me financially and that affects my safety and security. And that affects my ability to be in my feminine because it's constantly putting me in a state of like, well, like there's not enough funds. And I'm supposed to sacrifice myself to like be there for these people that cancel on me and don't show up. And it's like, well, I'm showing up. I'm here. I come to the store. People don't show. And, you know, it's like frustrating. So part of the reason why I wanted to create this program was to create more financial security for me and more time freedom because I know that I don't want to be at the store as much anymore. I know it's not filling my cup. I know it's taking a lot more from me than it's giving to me. So my
Mhm.
ultimate goal, like, yes, is to help people with this pain program because I know it's going to be like amazing. It's literally thebomb.com. It is, I've
I hope
poured
you own that
everything.
domain.
What?
You said, I hope you own that domain, thebomb.com.
I should look it up. But it's like an epic program. It is taking me like months of like getting like these downloads of like how to create this program. So that it's just like it's a little bit more beyond than like just like sit. And so I'm really super pumped up and excited for it. And it's like if I can be in alignment with 10 people, 15 people, that creates a lot of safety and security for me. And when I have that, then I'll be free to spend that time with my family and friends the way that I want to, because that's so important to me. And I'll have the time, space, energy, and money to create my other programs that are going to continue to help people on a bigger capacity than I currently am right now. So
Yeah, I feel that. It makes total sense. It's exactly the same reason why I help people in the capacity that I do as well. My goal is to help more people. This is the whole reason why when I first came out of sit, I knew right after the first 6 months to a year, one-on-one work is not for me because I can't help enough people doing it that way. There's just
yeah,
not enough time in the day. Anyway, so I feel you on that sense of like wanting to create programs just
I
to kind of
feel
help
like
more people.
one session for people is not sufficient. It's just not.
Yeah.
And you know what? I have an interesting like point of view on that because I see people who come to the store. Those are people who keep coming back to the store. So it's like if you worked in a clinic, you might have these clients. Let's just say they only see you one or two times. and you like connect with them, but then you don't hear from them, and time goes on, you have new clients, like, so you're not hearing like from them per se. I'm at the store. So like they're coming in and they're like, oh, I got like this knee pain now, and or this is like coming up and blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, it could be emotional. And they're like looking at me like I'm crazy town, you know? And it's just like, well, there's other things that are like coming up now, and like we got to work through them. But
Mhm.
they're just like not connected there. And so you do like the one session for people, but then like I just know for a fact all of my clients that other things like come up for them. So
Yeah.
it's like, let's work on that and get you in a really good like foundation. And then that way you're not spending like $1,000 on supplements and like spending all your time at massage and physio and chiro. And not to say that those practices aren't good, but it becomes a lot when you have to spend a lot of time there and then your benefits run out and then you have to spend a lot of money there just to like maintain yourself so that you can like function.
Mhm.
You're going to like 5 appointments a week plus buying all your supplements. It's crazy.
Yeah. And this brings me back again to um the store thing. So there's a couple things that I picked up there just from the conversation. And if it's all right with you, I just want to like put them
Sure,
out there
yeah.
so that people kind
Yeah.
of get like how this process works. One of the things which we could circle back to in a moment was when I have XYZ, then I can do this. Whenever I hear someone say, when I have, that is an idol. So you are idolizing this thing, but try and think of it from this perspective. When I have this program, when I have this business running, then I'll have so much more time for my family, blah, blah, blah. But that might not necessarily be true. It depends on the way that you are carrying that thing, because
Like
a lot of
cultivated it
people, like
a specific way.
a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners spend way more time working than employees. And so that actually might not be true. So what are you idolizing? That if you weren't idolizing it, you could start receiving more from it. The other thing is there's still, I can tell from the language, there's still a piece of judgment, which I totally get because I also very much value security of a secure income, but total
Yeah.
judgment in the fact that I have to just stay at the store because I need income. But
Yeah.
you just said that your path, your inner self says that your path is to not be working at the store. So what if
Right.
this is just what if
Oh, I
possibility,
already
just
know like what's happening. You're talking and I already like know everything. And it's like,
what if you were to just be like, okay, I'm going to follow that knowing, I'm just going to quit the store, and all those hours that I would have normally worked at the store, I'm going to work on finding those 10 clients in alignment.
I can't do it right now. Because my bank account's getting like small and my credit card is maxed because I just paid $1,300 to get that car fixed that I hit in January.
What else
And
is possible? What else is possible for ways to attract money? Just throwing it out there as a question you could ask yourself, because you said, I can't do this. Well, yeah, you can, but you just might not have a lot of fucking money.
so it's not a lot of no, it's not a lot of money. It's like it won't be enough to cover my bills. It's not like I won't have a lot of money. It's like I have like car payments and there's things that are like the insurance, like I don't know, if I cut the shifts right now, it's already like pretty dicey even though I have the shifts. So
I hear you. I get it, and that's kind of what I'm trying to point out, so that everyone else listening too gets this concept of like, I can't do that because of this. But
yeah,
what you and I just spent like 30 minutes talking about is when you remove all of those judgments of I can't do this because this, you open up a door to receive what you need in another way.
right.
It's really hard in this is a great example because this is really fucking hard, because you don't know how you're going to make the money. You don't know how you're going to pay the car bill. You
I
don't
guess
know.
if my program was like launched, right, and the enrollment is open, I could potentially do that because there's the potential there. But like right now today, I feel like I would be so freaking out that I wouldn't feel safe to like be relaxed enough to like finish the work that I have to do to open it up. Because I'd be like freaking the fuck out. I'm already like,
I get it. I've been in this situation. So this was after I left my marriage. I had close to $40,000 in debt and zero income. Zero, big fat zero. Luckily, my parents were like, and I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do. I'm like, okay, I'm moving out to the Okanagan. I'm looking for a place to rent. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to pay for it. And my parents just ended up, I just trusted that. And my parents were just like, okay, well, we're going to be down south for X amount of months. Why don't you just stay at our house? I'm like, oh shit, it's fucking sweet. So I got a free place to stay for a certain amount of time. So that gave me the allowance to figure out, okay, what's my next step? So there was that. And then because I was in the middle of doing all this healing, I was just way more open to trusting and receiving these like totally illogical choices. And then I started getting income in really fucking random ways. So I posted a couple of videos at some point during that time and started making all of this affiliate money online. And I was like, oh, fucking sweet. Like, I didn't know that was possible. And it just started coming in. And then I had the old company that I had quit, that I'd worked for 15 years, sent me a check. Like, I didn't fucking know I was going to get that. So then I had this big fat check. So it gave me a few more months, and I kept, things kept going. And then eventually I got to a point where I was like, okay, I don't want to go back to this corporate job. I don't want to do this, I want to do that. I ended up doing like a little bit of just like freelance work, delivering stuff, right? That allowed me to create my own schedule. It allowed me to dictate how much money I can make, like that I wanted to make, that kind of thing. And so that's kind of how things progressed. And then eventually I got to this point where I had this healing journey and I was like, okay, I need to figure something out with my career. And I fucking landed this job that I'm doing now is with the most randomest skills. Like, I have the most random fucking technical skills. Like, most people are like, I'm a programmer and I just program shit, or I'm a designer and design shit. No, me, I had like this little bit of marketing, a little bit of customer service, a little bit of programming, a little bit this, a little that, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, that's the job description. You need to fucking have all this shit. And I'm like, nobody has all that shit. And so I guess my whole point is with the stories I'm trying to get at is that by just allowing that choice, because this did hold me back for a really long time. I didn't leave my job. I didn't leave the city. I didn't leave my marriage for so many years because I had those judgments of, well, how am I going to afford a different place? I can't afford a different place. I have no fucking money. Right. I can't leave this. Like, you're supposed to work on your marriage. I can't do this. I can't do that. And eventually, just because I healed this piece of myself, I was like, fuck it. I know that's what I need to do, and I'm going to do it. I'm just going to trust it. I'm going to do it. I don't know how the fuck it's going to work out.
Yeah.
And so I guess that's all I'm trying to get at with this is I get how fucking scary it is, because you could lose your car. You could, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But what's possible? It's like, what else is possible? Is it possible to defer a payment? Is it possible to borrow money? Is it possible to fucking work with clients in a different capacity? Is it possible to earn money in a different way?
That's I guess like that's what I'm like working on, like towards is that.
But what
My
else
goal.
are you not receiving from that? Because yes, I know you're working towards that, but is there also another thing you could be receiving? And I think that's just a question you need to keep asking yourself is, okay, what else is possible here? Is there something else that I could be receiving from? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is it as simple as like going to some sort of meetup in the city where people are like, holy shit, I want to fucking work with you, and then you fucking get 5 clients? I don't know.
But the thing is like I would rather stay at the store until September and have my program launched and my other courses like worked on and ready to launch than take on more clients and be busier and be overwhelmed and be stressed. I guess I'm not a like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not available to, I don't want to like go to a meetup and like meet 5 clients that I just like see one time. Because
Right.
it's like
No,
I'm so
I hear
honed
what
in
you're
on
saying.
like I'm so honed in on like this program that I would rather work at the store, know that I'm getting that paycheck, than go out there and spend the time to like go to the meet. Like I'm already like maxed out with like socializing. So socialize and then get like those 5 clients just to earn that money. I'd rather just like be at the store, conserve as much energy as possible and focus and build my program.
Right. I
Like
hear
get
what you're
the
saying. And I feel like I still have some like judgments to break through here, because I'm not saying pigeonhole yourself into going to a meetup, pigeonhole yourself into taking one-on-one clients. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what possibilities are there that you're cutting yourself off of by not choosing what you already know you need to do? Which I get what you're saying. Like, I get how fucking hard it is to go against that security, that safety, that, all I'm saying is exactly what we were saying 30 minutes ago, of by not choosing the path that you know you're supposed to be choosing, you're cutting
right, but
yourself
I
off
am
from something.
okay, so I feel like I am choosing like the path. Like I've gone through like my little like journey of like, okay, I'm resisting it, resisting it, resisting it. Now I'm like in alignment. And it's like, why do I have to like take that like extreme and like cut off from like health matters right now? Like, why do I have to
You
like
don't have to.
cut it off like right now? Because I'm pretty confident in my plan. Like, and I'm pretty confident in feeling ready to like leave the nest. I call it the nest because it's a good place to grow. So I'm like the baby bird and I'm really ready. Like it's not like September's gonna come and I'm like, well, like I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm ready. Like September
That's
is
amazing.
coming.
And I
But
I
like as
honor you
of
for
like right
whatever you
now, I'm just like, oh,
I honor
because I
you for
don't want
whatever
other
you
workload.
choose. I honor you for whatever you choose. I guess all I'm trying to do is like show another perspective, especially for other people listening, to
Yeah.
learn about this, because the whole reason why I'm kind of poking at you a lot is because the fact that you said, I'm so tired, and that is our clue. Like, if you were someone else, if you were not you, you were someone else, and you were listening to yourself, I know as a practitioner, you'd be saying the same thing. Well, why are you so tired? What is
Yeah.
keeping you tired, right? And
Yeah.
you've answered that question for yourself, which, and I'm not saying like, this is not to like pressure you into saying, go quit your job. No, that's not the point. The whole point of this is to just show as an example to people that the clue that your body is giving you is the tiredness, that like there is a piece of your path, which right now you're choosing as a safety, which is totally fine. A lot of people do that. I'm doing that right now too with my job,
Yeah.
but all I'm saying is like, that is how you pick it apart. That's how you find the clue. And
Yeah.
sometimes, some people right now, from our conversation, I know that there's a piece of you that is not safe and secure enough to just follow that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That just tells us that there's a piece within that needs healing in some point, because I guarantee you that will come up again. That will come up again in your path if you don't address it. But you choose this path, fine, whatever, you go onto your path, and then yeah, fuck, I forgot what I forgot what I was going to
I feel like I would rather take a short term, like, let my friends know, hey, this is what's going on for me. I just like need a little I just need a little time. Like I can't really like spend time right now. Like we can chat, we can still connect, we can call on the phone, but I can't physically go and meet up just for like the next couple months.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I would rather sacrifice that than my financial ability to pay for
And that's
my
perfectly
my
fine.
things.
Yeah, that's
Because
a
I feel
choice
like
that,
my friends would understand. They would
right.
understand that it's a very short term like sacrifice to like not see me for 2 months.
Yeah, those are sweet friends.
Yeah.
Can I just offer a perspective as if, let's pretend you're a client of ours, okay? And I would just say to them, that's cool. You want to choose that? That's totally fine. There is no right or wrong. That's just what you're choosing.
Yeah.
But what if you had that conversation with your friends and they said, you know what? I know 2 people that would join your program. And you had
Yeah, but I'm not
3
ready to start
friends.
it right now. That's the thing is because okay,
Doesn't
my
matter.
brain thinks
Doesn't matter.
ahead long
I'm just
term.
saying what if. Just saying what
Okay.
if. Just saying what if. What if. Just what if. What if your
But I'm not,
friends were just like, you know what? I I don't want to I don't want to stop hanging out with you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you find at least 4 people that are going to join your program, and they're going to prepay for it until you're ready to start it.
okay.
Just saying, don't close yourself off to possibility. Just saying.
Okay, sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's nice to dream. Like, dream about what are the cool, fun
Sure. You
possibilities
know
that
what?
could
I guess
happen.
like not all this doesn't have to be like set up for that. They could e-transfer me. They could whatever. They could pay cash. Like I don't know. Like yeah.
Yeah. And hey, like, if you know, for other people listening, like, just to show you what is possible for that specific situation, I've done this before, where I have asked people to pay for something that is not created, and they did. So it's totally possible. But the whole point of that, the whole point of me poking and poking and poking and making Kirstin feel uncomfortable is to show you
It's
that
stressing me out.
there's
It's good.
so many different possibilities that if you
Yes.
allow yourself to open up to them, you allow yourself to receive, you stop saying, but I can't because of this and this and this. You could create a lot of fucking magic. I'm thinking, like, the other thing that's popping into my head too is Via Ocean. Fuck, I hope one day they listen to this. Is and
we
they've
should
shared
we
this.
should send them our podcast. We should just like send them the link.
But like, they for so long lived like on the prairies and like wanted to live by the ocean and all this stuff, and they very much live this path of just following their irrational awareness. And the place that they fucking live in right now is insane. It's literally on the ocean,
Right.
and this gorgeous house in that area of BC. It's a house like that would be like $3 million.
Probably more.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And so and basically, like, what they did is like they found these other places that were fucking amazing. They found these other places, but their rational awareness was, okay, well, for whatever reason, it's not supposed to be this one. And they're like, what the fuck? And they ended up finding this one. So anyway, now their irrational awareness is taking them back to the prairies. So it's so counterintuitive, because they could sit here and be like, well, I don't want to fucking go back. They're going to lose my beautiful ocean view. I'm going to lose this beautiful house.
Have to shovel snow.
All these things. But now they're getting, like, they got set up with a place to stay for free for a while. Like, this is fucking amazing. So I guess the whole point that I'm trying to get across here for everyone is just like, once you start allowing yourself to just open up to that, and for myself, and I guess I'll turn this back on myself, because it's easy to sit here and just say it.
Right. And then I have something to say after.
Okay. For myself, what's happening is that I love my job. I love the guys I work with. I honestly feel really bad thinking about leaving them because I love them so much. What they're doing is amazing. I want to be a part of it, all that kind of stuff. But I know in my heart that I'm not meant to be there forever. And eventually I am going to have to leave. They've even said to me, let's have a conversation about how to get to your income goals with the company. And it fucking breaks my heart because they are such amazing humans. And I do want to be a part of what they're doing. But in my heart, I know that I'm not meant to be there forever. And so the same thing. It's like, I know I'm going to have to let go eventually. It's going to be hard, but I have to follow that irrational awareness because there's something greater for me. So anyway, just so you know, I'm kind of going through something similar and I'm just kind of letting it play
Hopefully,
itself
maybe
out.
on the next episode or a few episodes, I'll be able to like grill you with all the questions.
Yeah, please do. Fuck.
I was gonna say actually, like I did have an awareness to stop working on Mondays like a long time ago, like quite a few months ago, probably like September, October last year. I had this awareness like, okay, I can't work Mondays anymore. And at first it started with like every other Monday, and then it was like every other Monday because I was like, I know if I don't work that day, I will like get the clients that I need to. Yeah.
So are you still working Mondays?
No, I don't work Mondays.
Sweet.
Yeah. And I'm not as busy as I was, but I think that's because I resisted the alignment piece for so long. I resisted like just like shutting down the one-on-ones and just focusing fully on like the program itself. Like at work now, I've pulled my pamphlets. I don't have my pamphlets up anymore. Just because I just don't want to keep being like distracted with that. I just want to like put all my time and energy into there, and it's an exciting thought to think about, to just leave behind like the shifts, but yeah, that's crazy. I
Yeah,
don't know.
that's
I get
actually
it and
pretty.
I understand it, but it's like,
That's interesting you brought that up because a mentor of mine recently kind of suggested something similar. He's like, well, why don't you just start working on your business? And then when you get a little bit busier, just ask your work, be like, hey, can I work 4 days now? And you're going to take a bit of a pay cut, sure, but you're going to have something going on your business. So it'll
yeah.
equal out and you can just slowly transition that way.
Yeah, that's
So
what I'm
that's
trying to
another
do is,
option.
yeah, I'm trying to like slowly transition. I have like my plan. I'm like super pumped about it. I feel like there's good places can get referrals from. It's a local program. It's in person. I have like all the things I'm gonna do to like get clients, like not just like online for in person, but also in person for in person. Um, so I'm really excited about it, and I think it will be just like a really swift, easy like transition, like out to where I only work there like 1, maybe 2 days a week, like every other Saturday, and then like 1 day a week would be like the most ideal.
I'm excited to
So
see what you create.
I'm excited too.
And it looks like I heated you up a little bit there, buddy. Had to take your sweater
Yes.
off and everything. Poking you with the fucking fire stick.
Oh my God. Yeah, you laid it on me today. But you know what? It's good. I have to look at I have to look at that. I don't know if I'm ready like tomorrow to just say, okay, I can't work these many days.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think even if because my plan is to launch the enrollment for my program that starts in September. My goal is to like open the enrollment for July 1st. So it'll be like a 2-month enrollment, and then the program will start in September. So
So
I'm
join
really
the email list, friends, by using the link in the
yeah,
description.
precisely. And so this is like a local thing. It's not virtual at all. It's completely in person in Edmonton. And yeah, location to be determined. I have a location that I could do, but there's other exciting things that I can't mention yet that are like happening. So it could be a different location, but we'll see. Uh,
Sweet.
yeah, it's gonna be really, really awesome.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to talk more about it in the near future.
Woohoo. Yeah, me too.
That's
I
only a
love
few weeks
celebrating.
away.
Yay. It's like 3 weeks away. It's crazy. But I feel I had a revelation, I guess, and I feel more inspired and more motivated like yesterday and today. So I feel like it's all like coming together and it's gonna be ready. And yeah.
Leading by example, beauty. Cool. Well, I hope you get to prod me in the next couple weeks, because I'm sure I could use a little poking and prodding as well.
Yep, I sure can. Now I know how it feels to like be the client when I'm like poking and prodding them and like poking holes in all of their like judgments and stories and
Yeah,
limitations.
I guess the real difference with this version is that we weren't doing statements. I feel like it's so much easier when you're just doing statements, because you're breaking down their judgments as you're doing it. You're not just being like, well, why are you doing that? Why are you doing it?
Right? Yeah.
Which I feel like
Yeah.
basically what we did is more of like talk therapy, which is like, anyway,
Sometimes
doesn't
in my
move
sessions,
stuff as fast as sit, in my opinion.
sometimes my sessions, like just like the talking piece, like does a lot. But usually only when I've seen that client like 3, 4, 5 times. We'll have like a session and just like talking and they're like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, don't be surprised if you're still tired after, even though we didn't do statements. Because they just
Yeah.
like had all these like awarenesses. And like I've even had clients where they're like just talking and they're like creating like their own like awarenesses. And I'm like, that's so
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they're
the
kind of like talking
awareness.
out their own thing. And yeah,
Mm-hmm. Totally.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
pretty
happened to
cool.
me once where I was doing a pro bono session with someone, and we only got to the part where it's like muscle tested, here's the connections, and there's like, holy shit, awareness. But then
Yeah.
as we were going to go into statements, like something came up and she had to go.
Yeah.
But then 2 weeks later, her sister's like, what the fuck did you do? She's like a completely different
Yeah.
person. I was like, I didn't even do a full session.
I know, like sometimes, like I've had multiple sessions with people where like we just don't get into statements because the first piece for them and the connections is just so eye-opening and so profound that it would just be too much to even like go into the statements at
Yeah.
that point. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Well, we smashed through our hour pretty quick here, so I guess we
Yeah.
better wrap it up. So thanks everyone for listening, and we will see you on the next episode.
Okay, ciao.